They say knowledge is power, and information has always been power. Long before films, newspapers, or even the internet, empire was deciding what gets said and who can say it and how people remember. Churches, colonial administrators, town criers, they all served the same purpose: to organize your perception of authority. That didn't change with the invention of broadcast or print media. In fact, it scaled it. The mechanisms became more complex and the language became more neutral, but the purpose stayed the same. Intelligence agencies are usually presented to the public as protectors. Their covert operations, foreign surveillance, and counter-terrorism work is framed as national security priorities. But these same agencies have long operated in a different domain. Information. The core responsibility of intelligence work is information. Not just gathering it, but deciding how the story gets told to the public. Which version of the truth enters circulation? What gets amplified? What gets softened? What is withheld? This is not new. The CIA was founded in 1947 with the legal authority to conduct psychological operations on the American public. MI6 and MI5 already had networks of loyal press contacts going back to the colonial era. Mossad, the Israeli intelligence agency, developed its own network of loyal partnerships with foreign correspondents, sympathetic editors, and aligned publications. Its goal was to build international support for Israel. Intelligence has always been central to imperial expansion, whether it was through map making, missionary reporting, trade surveillance. The use of scholars and newspapers to soften the image of occupation, genocide, and war is not new. The use of information to secure political power is older than the printing press. Every empire has relied on controlled speech, filtered memory, and organized forgetting. Intelligence is often described as if it's responding to events, but its role has always been architectural. It sets the terms and the expectations before the events even happen. It decides what you think counts as a crisis. It lays out the narrative space where the state action is justified. Wars don't just happen, they are framed, tested, rehearsed. The decision to invade, intervene, or occupy is made based on how easy it is to get the public to agree. The British Empire relied on a network of press officers, embedded missionaries, and government newspapers to control public narrative in the colonies. India had over 80 British-run newspapers by the early 20th century, and West Africa had advisors inside village schools. This is done to manage perception of the empire, not just in the colonies, but back home. Anything that was going back to Britain was getting sanitized. And none of that intelligence structure disappeared after independence. The Americans formalized it. And since its inception, the CIA has used front organizations to fund journalists and plant stories. It paid editors, it placed operatives inside publishing houses. This is not speculation, this was admitted under oath during the 1975 Church Committee hearings. The Church Committee hearings revealed that the CIA had Washington Post journalists on salary. That is narrative warfare against the population. If you think by reading these newspapers you look smart, the people who have the power are laughing their asses off at you. No, they don't read them. No, they don't read them. In Britain, the Foreign Office created the Information Research Department to funnel narratives directly into the media. Journalists from the BBC and Reuters received briefings from this department. And in some cases, intelligence officers helped vet candidates for editorial roles. We exist in a world where we have established institutions with big lobbies in big buildings with proud plaques on their windows to say, we are intelligence services, we are a think tank, we are a military press relations office. And we accept that these are normal. This is not normal. This is absurd behavior to have in a modern society. This is a web of manipulation, trying to maintain strategic coherence in public perception. They're very afraid you might realize they're all criminals and decide to, I don't know, stop paying your taxes. Managing information creates the illusion of consensus where it does not actually exist.